This could be the last season for Newport County for two reasons. Firstly, I may well get relegated and get sacked, which will mean automatic end of save. But the second and most important reason, I think, is that because even if we survive somehow, then it's going to just become a little bit repetitive. And we have reached the pinnacle of where Newport can reach. And it's probably time to move on to a different save and see what we can do somewhere else. So, let's kick off the new season, possibly the last, and go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Rodney Parade Newport. And if you are a first-time visitor here, subscribe, watch, like and comment, and help the channel to grow and help us to support our very worthwhile cause. And if you're following along with us, you'll know that we've done very, very well with Newport, reaching 12th in the Premier League last season. And I think we should start with a quick review of what went on last season. So if we start off with the new arrivals, only 3 actually managed to get a rating of above 7. Lewis Barry had a very good season, Balcom the goalkeeper, and Andrew Trott came in and also had a very, very good season. Charlie McNeil was not bad either, as well as Jamie Hamilton in the few games that he played. Actually played quite well. Makeda also did fairly well for a young lad. We were a very, very young team and we struggled throughout the season, but somehow managed to finish off in 12th. The board are very, very pleased with the transfers, especially Balcom, who came in, a goalkeeper who came in from Preston, and did extremely well during his first season. But generally, we lacked defensive know-how, and we also were pretty poor in midfield and not creative enough. But hey-ho, we'll take this on very little budget. 12th in the Premier League, we will take that. Zapata was very, very poor, and we're hoping that one more season for him possibly, and if he doesn't do anything, then we are going to get rid of him next summer, because he's come in and done absolutely dreadfully. In terms of how the season went, 12th, the board are delighted, of course, 1,000 to 1. To favourites to be relegated. We finished 38 games, won 12, drew 7 and lost 19. We finished with 43 points in 12th position, largely due to our goalkeeper, and interestingly enough, the attendance was only 47%, as we achieved amazing things. Our home attendance was only 47%. We started the season badly, recovered October and November, but then it all fell apart again, and towards the end of the season, it's probably the worst end of season that I have ever had playing FM, and it just totally fell apart. But luckily, the teams around us fell apart as well, even worse, and that meant that we were able to stay where we had got to in 12th. In the FA Cup, we didn't do particularly well, and our biggest win was against Swindon in the Cup. Most memorable match was the first one against Wolves, the 2-2 draw away, and goal of the season, I don't remember what it was, but it was a strike by Baranoff very early on in the season. And in terms of the finances are looking very, very good. Corporate hospitality didn't do very well. and strangely, match day commercial and retail didn't do very well indeed. Maybe there's a bit of a recession in Newport, because to do this well and not make the money is kind of strange. We sold nearly 12,000 shirts. McNeil was the top shirt seller, and the top 5 was made up of Trod, Kirjan, Hackney and Baranoff, the defensive midfielder. And the team, as you can see, our main team, only 2 of them had decent stats. Lewis Barry, 12 goals, and Ellery Balcom, who was extremely good in goal, had probably the season of his life, but nobody else actually did anything special. The player awards, the fans player of the season was Ellery Balcom, the goalkeeper. Young player of the season, Louis Barry. Signing of the season, of course, Balcom. Baranoff, we know, was goal of the season, but I can't remember it. And the top scorer with 12 goals was Louis Barry, on loan from Aston Villa. And Charlie McNeil, top assists with 8. Highest average rating, 7.2, from Louis Barry. And to be honest, it was a dreadful season, but we somehow managed to survive. Timmy Abraham became Newport's top goal scorer ever with 93 goals for Newport, and the highest transfer fee, we broke that record by bringing in Mercado, who didn't play particularly well, but okay for a young boy. And the highest transfer fee received was for Sonny Carey. And if we look at this, what we've done in the transfer window this season, we've made a lot of changes. We haven't brought in extremely good players. We brought in Brandon Soppy, right back. We had to improve at right back, and he's got good physicals. His mentals are not bad, and we're hoping that he's not a Premier Division player by any stretch of the imaginations, but he's better than what we had, and we're hoping he might have a good season. Joseph Tukum, again, a very physical player. We want to strengthen up, and his mentals are not bad, and he can pass to a degree, and so trying to strengthen up the midfield. We brought in Shane Lavery. He came in in the summer, and we're hoping that will also strengthen up the forwards. He has fairly good attributes, but he's still really only a good championship player. And then we brought in Zamora from Brentford for £9.25 million, and we're hoping that, again, he's got some good physicals and his mentals are not bad, but technically he could be a better player. He's a really good championship player, and hopefully he will step up a degree and help us out. Nicola Maras came in from Crystal Palace for £9.5 million. Again, a physical player, and has good mentals. I'm not really worried about their technicals at this point. It's just how physical they are. And he is a bit older, but we need some experience too. George Johnson, central defender, we also brought him in. Again, mentally a good player, has decent physicals and technical ability, and hopefully as the season progresses he will also play a part. Again though, not a Premier League player. Connor Hazard we brought in for $475,000 from Fulham to be a backup goalkeeper. Could possibly take over from Balcom at some point. And the final signing we've made so far is Adam Vitek. We've brought him on loan from Leeds. He's a young lad again, but has decent attributes for his age and has 5-star potential, and we're hoping that we can bring some of that potential out of him. Playing him as a central midfielder on attack, He has pretty good attributes for that. And that's the signings that we've made. They're not great Premier League players. In fact, none of them are Premier League players. We let go Jensen Weir on loan again to Salford. Jamie Hamilton we sold for £450,000 to Hearts. Zach Swanson went out on loan to Leyton Orient. And we sold Dmitry Baranov. 1 year left on his contract at 32. Do I want to extend his contract? No. So we just took advantage of Lokomotiv Moscow coming in, offering 2.7 million, and we took it. And then we let go Harry Maloney, a young boy, on loan. And so pretty much I think we've improved slightly, but not enough. And we have some very, very tricky fixtures coming up. All of them are difficult to open up. FM has been very, very unkind. We have Tottenham, Leicester, Liverpool, Manchester City, all in our first 4 games. And I'm not expecting to have any points at the end of the first 4 games. But in terms of our tactics, this is why we might get sacked, because we have gone attacking. I've got to do something different. I'm tired of defending, and we've gone very, very attacking. And the team for today is going to be Balcom in goal, and Lyons Foster, and Mercado, Maras, and Zamora at the back, with Balick, Hackney and Tucum in midfield. Tucum making his debut with Zamora today. And Barry, Lavery and McNeil up top. Again, Lavery will make his debut today because we have Trod, who is injured. I just want to change the goalkeeper over. My assistant has a habit of changing my bench, so I have to keep an eye on that. And so I think it's time to go and play Leicester. And at the King Power, let's see how we can get on. Can we get a good start, or are we going to be everybody's whipping boys again this season? Let's see. Let's go and play some football, and let's try and win this football match. And so, all we can hope is that the boys do their best. And it's Leicester who have the first highlight. And here's Van de Beek. Van de Beek, he looks for Ricardo. Ricardo looks inside for Ndidi. And Leicester are playing the ball around. We expect not to have any possession as usual. Lyons Foster does very, very well to clear that up at the back. And let's try and hold the ball, I was about to say, which doesn't work. We are playing a shorter passing game. We're going to try and focus on passing a little bit more. We're working on passing in training, but here comes Van de Beek down the left, and he looks inside, and that's cleared up by Maras. And that's a long ball forward, and it's all Leicester at the moment. Hackney tries to get us going forward, but doesn't work, and Ricardo brings it down the right-hand side. And he's going to look for a cross. Can he get a cross in? And that's defended well at the near post by Maras. Zamora, he hits a long ball forward to Lavery. Lavery, now, let's have a look what Lavery can do. Lavery bursts into the box. Can he find someone? No, he can't. It's the same old story as last year. And our passing is still the thing that's going to let us down. But we have a free kick as Tucum is fouled just outside the box. Louis Barry will step up. And that's a decent strike, and it whistles past the post. And at least we are creating chances, so it looks pretty good on that front. Last season we weren't creating enough chances, as Zamora again sends a long ball forward, but that's easily dealt with by Leicester. And Leicester come forward, headed back by Foster. But here's Thomas on the left for Leicester, driving into the Newport half. He finds Harvey Barnes. Barnes inside, but that's collected by Balcom very simply. And Balcom finds Zamora. Zamora making his debut today. And that's a lovely ball through to Charlie McNeil, and Charlie McNeil is through and scored. And it is Newport 1-0 up against Leicester. Leicester 0, Newport 1. What a start. Within 15 minutes, we are ahead. Let's keep our nerve, boys. Let's just keep playing the way we are. It was a delightful ball by Lavery through to McNeil, and McNeil found the corner, and it is 1-0. And what a shocker. Absolutely fabulous. There we are, sitting in third, and we have a corner, and Hackney drives in the corner, and that's a header over the bar by Makeda. And it's good to see we are creating chances, so maybe attacking is the way to go. And I don't think this team can do this kind of press, so we're just going to come off the press, the trigger press a little bit before half-time, save some energy. And there's a chance for Balick, and Balick should have scored there. Acres of space at the far post. And Pope, he hit it straight at Pope, who dealt with that fairly simply. And here come Leicester. That's a long ball forward, a nothing ball, but we've headed it straight back to Thomas. Thomas, he drives down the left, and he finds Barnes. Barnes is a bit of a problem. We need to work out what to do with Barnes. Barnes back to Thomas. Thomas. And here's Ndidi. Ndidi is looking outside for Ricardo. Ricardo looking to get a cross in. He does, and that is a header. Boy, that was a header by Newport at the near post. Stopped a certain goal there. We're also going to regroup now as we move towards half-time and just settle down a little bit, preserve energy, and try to contain them as we move towards half-time, and then we'll work the boys into a frenzy at half-time and get them back out there and doing more. But for the moment, we're just going to try and contain Leicester as Van der Beek comes inside. And there's a ball over the top to Barnes, and that wasn't the greatest of crosses, and Balcom picks the ball up at the near post. Still, 32 minutes gone. It's Leicester 0, Newport 1. And here, that Balick finds Tuchum to McNeil. McNeil, he finds Lavery. Lavery is through. Can he score? It's a great save by Pope, and that'll go out for a corner to Newport. We are creating more chances, good chances, than Leicester. We're going to encourage the boys a little bit as Hackney puts the corner in, and that's headed away. And McNeil will pick the ball up outside the box. He finds Leons Foster. Leons Foster, he's looking for Hackney, but that's just run out of play. And that was a poor pass. Again, it's our passing, which is the issue. I've bought some players who can pass the ball, and it's still not working. And here is Hackney with a corner. And that is a goal! And it's been headed in by Moras. Moras, on his debut, has made it Leicester 0, Newport 2, a simple near-post corner, and Maras nodded it in, and a lovely timed run and jump, and he headed it in at the near post. And it is Leicester 0, Newport 2. I think we deserve this. We've been the better team on the day. And at half-time, we can be very, very happy with that scoreline. And we're just going to now go back and press them again and tell them, well done, lads, keep this going. 2-0 away at Leicester. That is an absolute phenomenal scoreline. And the boys are obviously keyed up. We're winning the second balls now. And Barry brings it forward. And Barry looks inside for Foster. Foster, he finds Makada. And he finds Balick. Balick to Hackney. And Hackney has put Tuchum in. Tuchum could score here. And he's put it over the bar. He's been scoring for fun in pre-season. But when it came to the big game, he just lofted it over the bar. But 2-0, we're still 2-0 up. And as long as we don't panic here, then we could win our opening fixture, which will be an absolute bonus given the fixtures that we We will take a win at Leicester for sure. We have Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester City all waiting. So if we can get the 3 points here, that would be brilliant. And Barnes has a chance, and Balcom makes a great save. Balcom back to his very best. And I just don't understand what FM is doing. We were red hot favourites to lose this game, but we have responded. Maybe it is that we've gone attacking. We've caught them by surprise as Balcom mops up that through ball. And who knows what might happen in the season if we do catch these teams by surprise. We're going to make a little change now. We're getting tired, so we're going to regroup and try and just be more wary as they try to counter-attack. As Linz Foster finds Hackney. Hackney into McNeil. McNeil is through and he's hit the bar. McNeil has hit the bar. And, oh boy, could have made it 3-0. And that would have been like a dream of a start. There's a lot of highlights in this game. I'm not quite used to all these highlights. It's not doing my nerves any good. But we're just going to try and hold on. I'm very, very tired players out there now. As Lewis is on for Zamora, who didn't have the very best of games on his debut. Tucum is looking for Balick. And Balick sends in a ball. And here is Soppy, and it's a header over the bar by McNeil. And we are still attacking them. We're not going to just defend now and let teams come at us. We're going to take the game to them. As tired as we are, Soppy brings it forward. He finds Barry. Barry is looking inside for Balick. And Balick, he finds Makada. And Mara sends a long ball forward to Lewis. Lewis is in acres of space here. Can he get across in? Yes, he can. And Barry has scored. Barry has made it. Leicester 0, Newport 3 in the 85th minute. And we have totally blown Leicester away. This is absolutely phenomenal for the first game of the season. I was not expecting this. I would feel very lucky if we had got a point. But that was Lewis in acres of space, and Barry popped it in without any trouble at all. And here we are, sitting at the top of the Premier League after the first game. And this is just phenomenal as we go into time added on. And we just got to see this game out. And that is it. Full time, Leicester 0, Newport 3, and we'll take that. And boy, have we done well. And not only beat Leicester, but we totally blew them away. And we're sitting right at the top of the Premier League. The fans are delighted. Everyone's happy. And long may, as I click continue, long may it continue. But we do have some very, very tricky fixtures coming up now. And we have Tottenham at home. We have Brighton, newly promoted in the Carabao Cup, then followed that by Liverpool, and then Manchester City before we have some fixtures that look a bit more reasonable. And all we can do is continue to play the way we're going to play this season. We're going to have to write these games off and then pick it up at the Watford game. And I think that's where we'll come back, is at the Watford game. And hopefully by then we won't have just damaged the morale by too much, and we'll be able to pick up and start a winning streak at that point. So let's hope. And after such a good start, that's it for this video. It's been a long one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe, like, watch and comment and help the channel to grow and help us to support research into chronic heart disease, a very worthwhile cause. And all that remains to be said now is we will see you in the next episode.